Here we go. Go live. Welcome, welcome. I will give a few minutes for people to get in here. I'm excited for this. I've just got internet here at the abode in England, so I'm excited to see if lives will work. I'm trying to get situated for the collaboration that's on. We're going to do our collaboration soon. There's a delay. There's a 30-second or so delay. Always. Yeah. Wow, we're live, yay. Yes. Hello, Stu. Hello, Reflection. Connection is clear. Really glad to hear that. Let me see this. Make sure this camera is clear. Africa. Kinshasa. DRC. That is, I know that DRC. Public. I can't think of what it means. Didn't realize this was a lot live. Yes, it is. Hello from Maryland. Nice. What area we're at in Maryland? Nice. It says the connection is excellent. This is good. I'm on social media detox, but I'm here for this. Well, thank you for being here. Use. So I can actually open the widget to change the stream status. Settings. Stream. Output. Bear with me while I try to situate. See, the audio bitrate doesn't need to be that good. Video. Audio. That would be fine. Video. Suppose 1500 kbs. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to do much. So I'm messing around with the settings right now. Now that I have internet, last time I did this, I had to turn down the bit rate so the streaming, the data would be pushed a little bit slower. But in this case, it's looking like the connection is doing really well. So I'm excited for this. Really excited for this. Bit rate of 6800. Wow, not much slower. So we are going to give a shot. It's up to you guys to let me know how this ends up working. So I've just changed the bit rate up higher to see if it will do well. And it's seemingly still fine. So, New Jersey, here your hometown. Well, thank you for being here. I'm glad there's a bunch of people here. Man, it's been months since I've done a live, so I feel really happy to be here. Really happy to be doing this live. I wonder if I have... Looks like they have added some new settings. Hi from Mexico City. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, where's everyone tuned in from? I want to go over today some of the... If y'all want to tell me your strategies, what you're doing to manifest whatever you want. The thumbnail for this video was specific person, so that seems to be the most popular. But, whoops, something is wrong. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to make sure this is going to work properly. Getting a little lag. Make sure everything's closed out properly. I just need to know. Is anyone... How's the video doing now? If y'all could just let me know if it's lagging, if the audio is good, if it's skipping, if it's loading, if it's buffering, any of that stuff. It'd be really helpful because I'm modifying some of the settings now to see what quality I can stream with this internet. But as I was saying, so I want to talk about manifesting strategies. My mother calls. This is not good. Something is just going wrong with the computer right now. It's probably still streaming me live, but this is lagging. So I've got Athena here with me for any of you who are wondering who I'm speaking with, or if you can hear someone speaking. Looks like my browser itself is lagging. So I don't know if you're all seeing me properly because I'm running it through a different software that's not directly the browser itself. So if the browser shuts down, it should still technically stream, which is a good thing. But at the same time, if you're not seeing this, I'm trying to just get this working properly, but it's appearing as if it's really lagging. I'm trying to close down any extra stuff here. This is crazy.
What changed? Do you think
And it's just something's lagging. I think can you pull up your phone and see if I'm still, because I think I'm still going right now. It's just what sucks is I can't read what anybody's saying. Seeing.
mine is still connected.
And yeah, this is looking like, so I suppose for now what I'm going to do until I can get this running is I can probably pull up my video of myself and look at the chat on there and answer questions based on that. Running as I can probably. Okay. Yeah, that's working. So it's working perfectly fine. Everyone's saying it's working really fine. So that's great. Hi, Kim. A little grainy, but the audio is perfect. Visual lagging, audio fine. I am about to shut off this entire browser. It looks like the browser itself is frozen solid. But I wonder if I do that, if it'll shut down.
I wonder if you use your phone. How clear it is, huh?
You mean as opposed to just keeping this? I'm just afraid of closing down the browser. But I suppose it doesn't matter. As long as I can see the chat. Suppose I can just do that for now. Regards to your brother, James Alai. What about him? The dream team, Joseph and Athena. Alright, I'm just going to run it like this for now. I don't really have any idea why the browser's busted, but if you all want to chat to me on here, I can queue up questions on here and answer them on here, as long as I can see them load up properly. 111 live now. Top messages.
What happens if you shut that?
I'm afraid if I shut this, it's going to shut down the whole stream.
And if you come back to it?
I don't know. Let me try. I suppose I'm just going to shut it down. It says application's not responding.
Get everyone to join you again on it?
Yeah, I could do that. Alright, I've shut it down. Let's open up again and go into YouTube and see if this will work. Bear with me, guys. I am attempting to reload my browser, which appears to be completely frozen. What an interesting thing. Never had this. Yeah, this is really crazy. Really crazy. First quit. First it. Sorry guys, just bear with me. Spotify is frozen. It should be shut down. Google Chrome. Google's like repetitively bouncing on the machine. I do not see anything refreshing on here, which is a problem. So I'm gonna go here. Shut all the pages out. Don't shut anything. We can hear and see you very well. The problem is I cannot see the live messages. There we go. I sometimes want to burn my journals to. There's his heart there. That is the worst. I feel your pain. It's an echo. Maybe it's your phone. No, it shouldn't be. Mic, audio impact, and audio input. It should only really have one. Let's make sure. Shut that down. Video capture should be good. Alright. If we only impress once, why didn't I sleep day after day in Barbados? I wonder how many times I'm going to have to answer the same question. So I will, though, however, given that there are multiple people here and this is an important question, I could take plenty of time to explain why that is, why people teach that is, and what the truth is. So that story, if you ever go back and consider the breadth of Neville's career, he taught manifesting for 30 years, 20, I forget. I don't know the amount of time, but I believe he started lecturing in the 40s or 50s, early 50s, and then he died in like 78 or 79 or something like that. So initially, what you're referring to is his first obvious manifestation. He essentially, never having done the law before, slept night after night in Barbados as he was instructed. He netted the results. However, if you fast forward 30 years, I did a video on this recently, citing one of his lectures where he says with his own mouth in a Q&A, when someone asks him, so a woman asks him, she says, Neville, do you imagine and remain in this imagined state, or do you drop it? And Neville says, no one remains in the state. He goes on to say, he talks about states of consciousness, states of mind, that we normally return to our normal state, our state that by which we identify with most day after day, moment by moment. But then he goes on to give an example about how he manifested money being returned to him through someone he lent it to, thousands of dollars. And he says he only imagined it once, thought about it once, never thought of it again, never imagined it again. And so therefore, and as a result, he manifested his desire. So what you will find commonly, so when I speak about manifesting, when I speak about what I speak about, right? I teach what I experience. I teach what I observe. Just because I have one experience, I won't share on that experience until I have many experiences. Then I share the results, the commonalities between them. For any individual who enters into manifesting, generally the first thing they stumble upon is law of attraction, which has the ideology that you must remain within this vibrational match in order to receive your manifestation. Otherwise, you will not receive it. Otherwise, you will send mixed signals. Unfortunately, these teachings, which are not rooted in truth, even science now is against this form of teaching. These teachings still remain, or they reign supreme with as it relates to popularity. They make sense rationally to the rational mind, and these teachings are incorrect. They essentially dictate that you are emitting a vibration, a frequency by which you draw in its match, its equivalent. This gives the insinuation that when you stop matching it, you will draw in something else. However, right, so this is what we come into manifesting believing. So when I came into teaching manifesting, there were one or two other people teaching Neville at the time, not many hardcore. I was essentially probably the first one who really went deep into Neville to the extent that I did, that existed at that time. So what ended up happening after that came a slew of people teaching Neville. And often they tainted their law of attraction ideologies, or essentially they bastardized Neville's teachings with these ideologies. So they hear that one lecture that says live in the end constantly forever after, the live in Barbados, you're in Barbados, and they say, wow, that sounds just like the law of attraction, the vibrational match. This must be the exact same thing. However, they are two completely separate principles, and any of those people, if they just listened to a few more of his lectures or just read anything at all, they would likely find. Now, this is not, I would say for the average person, I cannot blame for not delving into the meticulously Neville's teachings. That's something like my job or something like a coach's job. But unfortunately, probably 99% of coaches don't do any of that. What they do is they do what they assume to be true. They hear one lecture, assume that that lecture accounts for the entirety of that person's teachings, and then they teach that as true. I've recently heard so many people saying things about Neville, telling people to affirm continuously, affirm until they're haunted by it, to use robotic affirmations. They referring about 3 days imagining and you'll get this thing, etc., etc. So many things. You likely have heard this too. I know you have, and you will say, well, he does say that, or this person says it. I will tell you right now, if you take a little bit of time to delve into the back of Neville's teachings, he would suggest, and he says also, that if you're going to affirm, first of all, he uses the word decree, and there's a huge difference between affirming and decreeing. And affirming gives the insinuation of robotic affirmations. This was a term I brought up about 5-6 years ago when I was essentially slamming affirmations. So in scripture, just to back this, it says, do not recite vain repetitions. That is an affirmation. It says it's clearly in the Bible. So vain means without meaning. So that would be robotic. So do not recite phrases, essentially, is what it's saying. Your goal is to saturate your consciousness with the idea of the wish fulfilled, with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, with the experience of the wish fulfilled, and that's it. In doing so, you impress the subconscious. The subconscious keeps what you've passed it, and if you imagine once and never do it again, you will still manifest that thing as long as you impress the subconscious. Now, this is something you might not be able to know if you've done properly, but I can tell you with this whole new inundation and bastardizing of manifestation teachings with modern psychology, such as that by citing, like I said, or even law of attraction, repetition of affirming, the self-talk, the law of attraction ideologies and principles, it is no surprise that the individuals who I'm ending up coaching, me and Athena, are traumatized and have been led astray. A lot of them have been, I know someone specifically who went to the psych ward because of these types of teachings. Manifestation is so simple. Saturate your mind temporarily with the idea of the wish fulfilled. So experience it as if you've already had it. experience it. What does experience mean? That doesn't mean say something. If I was a millionaire, would I be saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire? No, that doesn't make any sense at all. That would not be your experience, right? Take away this scientific, like the approach that seems to be meticulous, and just replace it with the simple truth. Experience in your consciousness what you would experience if you had it. That's it. If you feelingly or experientially simulate or emulate the experience of the wish fulfilled in your mind one time, with feeling, with experience, with sense, you will get more effect and more results from that than affirming 10,000 times. You could take 10 seconds and imagine something meticulously. Spend your time planning the scene and imagining the scene. If you do that, do one sitting, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, you will, I have seen it before, I have observed and tested all of these angles, you will manifest with much greater power and accuracy by doing one simple imaginal act. That could be scripting, that could be an inner conversation, that could be a feeling, that could be some short, concise experience of the wish fulfilled in any imaginal sense, thoughts, etc. Do that for a few seconds. That will have more power than a million things affirmed. Than affirming something morning, noon, and night. It's and again, I talk about this in so many videos. All it takes really it is one of the simplest things to prove that you only need to imagine one time. So I love this because I love the people who haven't followed me for a long time when I say this. The list method, right? People have claimed that, what have I heard recently? You aren't the first one to ever write a list and manifest. I never said that I did. But the list method is a specific method by which you write down 10 or so things, at least 10 things every day, from the perspective of already having experienced it, already having received it. I received a free cup of coffee. Someone complimented me. I saw a red balloon. Anything that you want. Anything. It could be the way that somebody acts, something that you find, something to do with your finances, something to do with your confidence, your self-esteem. It could have to do with women, your personality, other people, someone saying something, someone texting you, etc. Someone thinking something, someone dreaming. That's one of my favorite things. If you've ever looked in my comments and seen when I've manifested people dreaming of me, it's crazy stuff. But what you do is you write down, so this is the process. In the morning or in the afternoon, whatever, doesn't matter. You take out your manifesting journal. You take a pen. You put the pen to the paper, and you write down 10 statements from the point of view of already having received it, just as I've demonstrated. Whilst you're doing this, you're not attempting to do anything. You're not attempting to feel anything. You're not attempting to imagine anything. Just as if it's true, just as if you're writing down a statement so for me, I just had dinner. So the same way as right now, if I took a pen and I wrote down, I just had dinner, that is the same way that you're writing down these things, these 10 items. And so what you do is daily write down 10 items, 10 random items from different, that would essentially cover a different aspect of reality. Do it with other people, do it with yourself, do it with beliefs, do it with physical traits, do it with the weather, do it with dreams, the subconscious, emotions, thoughts, feelings, words, senses. So, boom, you write 10 things down, close the book. Next day, open it up again, write another 10 things down. Close it. Next day, write another 10 things down. You're not writing the same 10 things. You're not even attempting to write 10 different things. You're just, stream of consciousness, writing 10 things down. You do this without reflecting on the day before. So keep in mind, you're not writing today I experienced this, today I received this, right? When you do this, time itself, we leave that out entirely, right? Adding time slows things down normally. So you completely leave that void, right? Specifying a time will not guarantee that it will come within the day or within the time frame. It has nothing to do with it. So anyway, point being is right now we're in the process. Day 1, 10 things. Day 2, 10 things. Day 3, 10 things. Day 4, 10 things. You're going to get to day 7. And once you hit day 7, you're going to start day 8. Day 8, you're going to reflect back on day 1. Look at those 10 items. Check them off. Have any of them manifested? What you will find, do this day after day. Do this for 30 days, and you will watch your entire reality will change. Your reality will be a whirlwind of manifestations. Not only that, you will prove so many insane things about your ability to manifest that watching 1,000,000 channels for 1,000,000 years and someone telling you to imagine until the cows come home, that they can never tell you or prove to you. One of the simplest ways to prove if someone is worth their salt, their teachings are worth their salt, is to essentially do this for a month and then monitor your experiences and then compare what someone says to your experiences. You will effectively master manifesting in no time at all if you are able to observe the results properly, if you're able to find connections. You will find it's one of the easiest and quickest ways that you will prove that you only need to imagine things once and then it can happen. You can do big things, little things. Just watch. I mean, even take, for example, I manifested the relationship with my perfect person, which is Athena. And I wrote down in a journal, it's similar to the list method, you could say, but I wrote down characteristics and traits of an ideal perfect relationship. And I wrote it down one time, and I closed that book, never looked at it again. It took 4.5 or 5 years, and it all unfolded miraculously and perfectly to the point where there's no question. More on that soon. But the point is, it all happens. It all happens. I hope that was clear. What do we got? Let me see if I can refresh this. It's the one thing that I would like. If I could just refresh this. How does it? Let's see. The cows may never come home. Like those SPs. Yes. Hi Joe, East London here. If a part of my current reality is writing daily gratitude lists about things I already have, would writing affirmations like I'm grateful I have $1 million then work? So effectively, listen, I'm going to not pick too heavily at the phrase affirmations, right? So I'm going to answer your question, but I want to say this first and foremost, right? The phrase affirmation is too ambiguous today. When people are saying it, it is these mainstream channels of individuals, in most cases, who are very new. Brand new, in fact, at manifesting. Athena and I have witnessed the comments essentially on these channels being forked over by paying members of groups. So essentially, it gives the impression that that individual has the authority and knows what they're talking about, but in reality, it's just paying customers who have skin in the game, who already believe what this person's teaching is true before ever experiencing it. Not only that, so these teachers of affirmations, it's kind of like the buzzword of today. Whereas 6 months ago, you would not have found anything, or rarely, in comparison to the amount that is there today. In effectiveness, right? If you compare the effectiveness of technique, so to speak, or the ability to manifest through an action of yourself, affirmations, you are technically, depending on how you're doing it, you are technically moving your imagination, which is a key trait to effectiveness of manifesting, but it would go down to the bottom when you just start repeating it mindlessly. The word affirmation implies a repetition of sorts. Generally, when you repeat something, this is when we start to bleed. The lines are blurred between manifesting and modern psychology. So modern psychology is not manifesting. Modern psychology, essentially, I was in psych wards before. I went to therapy before. They talk about self-talk. They talk about affirmations. But the idea and concept is that you are to force something into your mind through repetition. so to speak, actually, it would be more. The best way to describe it actually would be to compel. You will convince yourself through repetition. Eventually, you will force yourself to believe it through repetition. This simply is not true. This is not manifesting. Whether this is true or not, this has nothing to do with manifesting. Manifesting is a way to yield so that you can impress your subconscious mind easily with the imagination. And yielding would in effect be some way to do it without force. So a single imaginal act, gently and in a way by which you will not have your defenses up, which is what happens when you affirm something to yourself when it's not true. So now, I'm going to nevertheless address your question related to your gratitude list. So gratitude lists are an excellent way to manifest things that are by focusing on something in your life. So even if you have only one thing to be grateful for, say it's just life in general, if you can actually even pretend you're grateful for that, you're grateful for being alive, that will grow. You will actually train your consciousness to observe situations to be grateful for, and not only that, you will literally manifest more things to be grateful for. And on the other hand, if you pretend that you are being grateful for something that isn't even true, you will impress your subconscious mind with that imaginal act. That is what an imaginal act is. So writing something down from the point of view of already receiving it, I am grateful that I have this. I am grateful that I do this. Now, the list method itself is generally not, I don't suggest it for the, so the list method I tell you is in order to test manifesting. That doesn't mean I don't use it other ways. I manifest the majority of my things, big things, through this list method. So I would separate the two. What I mean is in your list method, you should be testing big and small things, but it's really testing. Now, when we're talking about writing something down, yes, write something down from the perspective of being grateful for it already being true, and that will impress your subconscious mind, and then that will manifest in time space. Absolutely. I finally got my, it appears as if I have my, let me take a look. By the way, for those of you who were here the last live, I would like to know what you think about the, is it lagging? Is it clear? How's the audio? How's the video? This is going to determine whether I will be able to do lives in the future. I love doing lives. I love answering questions. I love the donation stuff, so people essentially get their questions popped up to the top of the screen so that I can prioritize them. That's so awesome. I love that. I love people's support. I love interacting with people, typing to people, speaking with people. It's one of my favorite things. So if we can find a way to make this work continuously, I literally will engage in this as much as I possibly can. So I don't know how to get back to the live. Maybe if I just click go live, we'll see if it pops up. No, I'm just trying to get back to, see, it says the connection's excellent.
Oh.
So this is great. The connection is excellent.
I mean, it says it's streaming still.
Yeah, I'm still on. I just wanted to see if I could pop up this to see if I can control it through here. Yes, and it's still working.
I get it.
So let's see. I don't want to have missed it if someone donated. That's why I wanted to get back here. So we have 176 concurrent viewers. I'm so grateful everyone was here. If you wouldn't mind, please hitting the like button and the subscribe button. Also, I don't know if you saw, but I updated the banner on my page. Super excited. Changes are coming. I've got a change in staff again. I'm going to be way more involved personally. I'm super grateful for the situation that I was in. I have got the scenario. My cousin Jesse really brought the channel back to life. Absolutely grateful for him and his effort. He reworked the website. He set up coaching. He helped me get involved with some new products. He managed a lot of things. Now we have switched staff again, so he's not going to be on staff. But it allows for me, it's at the perfect time. The bridge unfolded perfectly for me to be able to take part again, more specifically, more directly with all the ins and outs and operations of this YouTube channel. So I'm really grateful that I am here. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for my community posts. I will be placing a lot of effort into those. That's one of the ways I will be able to post content continuously, so that you will be able to keep up with me while I'm not doing, say, a video or something like this. Also, I have been working on some software and some projects that I want to be releasing to you guys as well for manifesting. So I am really excited for that to unfold as well. Let's see. Oh my God, Athena's there. Yes, Athena is here.
Who is this thing?
Here, come hither. I'll let you see, so you can see like this. This is Athena.
Hi,
Woo!
guys. Where do you look?
So because it's gonna lag badly, it might be best for you to look here at us and then see that over there.
Oh, hi, Karina.
His girlfriend, she is an amazing coach for manifesting. That she is. Someone's complaining. Look at this. Look at this. Ungrateful. Yo, who called that? Who called that? This person who can't. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. Actually, I was gonna say something really interesting. I'm not gonna do that. Fly Girls Manifesting. My first time seeing her. Yes, this is Athena. If you all don't know her, we will be doing our collaboration together. I manifested her through a meticulously crazy process. Actually, I just wrote a list. So she is pretty, isn't she, Natasha? I know. Cray.
Oh, thanks, Natasha. Kim, is that our messenger?
Where do I see? Oh, there she is. What's up? Our messenger. Do you want to? So we're going to be doing a collaboration really soon. Hopefully we're going to shoot by this week. We're going to get a video up there. There likely will have to be multiple because there are so many things. But Kim M was actually, she was what? How would you even describe the role that she played? Let's give them a little teaser.
Kim was really important, actually, because it was because of Kim that she set the ball in motion for this manifestation. She was the messenger. She was basically... Kim, wasn't it? You came to my channel, one of my videos you commented on, and you made a suggestion that I should do a collaboration. And you mentioned two names, actually, but the only one I had heard of was Joe. So I was just like, well, I know that he and I are on the same page, so I'll reach out to him. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history. And for in case anyone didn't show up when I said this, I literally wrote a list of my ideal person. I had just gotten out of a relationship that I never wanted to have one like that again, so I wrote a list, a meticulous list, dozens and dozens of items on it to masterfully craft.
Yours was intricate. Mine was not so intricate. I'm a bit lazy, but we always get the same kind of comments as well. We look alike.
Yeah.
It's good to see you all. Some of you guys I recognize from my channel as well. Special kind of hot. Nathan.
She is British.
Cocoa Milk. I've been doing this for 20 years.
At least today.
Yeah, I'm old.
At least today.
So 20 years that I discovered Neville and some.
I recommended you contact Joe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I knew it. See, Kim?
Adopt me. Okay. You didn't think he'd respond to your Instagram messages.
Exactly. Yeah, Kim. And
beautiful couple.
Yet I was drawn to do it. See, I was drawn to do it anyway. I dared to message him anyway.
That is true. Greetings from old dirty Jersey. Where at in Jersey? Where at in Jersey? You both look so happy. What a power couple. Yes. Yes, queen.
You're all so sweet.
Are there better methods for me to use? I've been experiencing extreme anxiety and fear. Are there better methods for me to use? Better than what? Oh, you mean because you have anxiety and fear, are there methods that would work better for you? So generally, as opposed to, what I would say is there are ways to imagine to reduce anxiety, at least from my experience. So one of the examples I usually give of this that kind of invokes anxiety is when you're affirming and it's BS and you don't believe it. And so oftentimes there will be an emotion that arises within you, an anxiety of sorts, a fear, or something that essentially within you think you're a liar, this is BS, this is not going to work, etc. Sometimes the more you disbelieve something and the more you repeat it, the worse the fear and anxiety gets. So oftentimes what I would suggest, I did a video on this a long time ago and I used to have a worksheet on this. I would have no clue where to find it for now, or nowadays, but essentially talks about how to remove, thanks reflection, I'll answer your question in a second. My God, what was I just saying? Remove what? What was I just saying? Oh, anxiety related. Oh, to remove anxiety with the manifestation is to essentially take a step back away from the scene itself. So for instance, as opposed to imagining myself, say it was, I don't know, was something, maybe someone who's in excruciating debt imagines himself as a millionaire, right? So oftentimes that could induce some feelings like I'm a liar, anxiety, fear, whatever. So one way to overcome that would be, instead of essentially experiencing myself as that, I could witness someone else talking about me. So it removes me once from the scene itself. So as opposed to me telling someone like, I am this, I perhaps, first of all, you could have someone tell you like, yo, I heard this. Another thing you could do is overhear people talking about you. What did you hear? Joseph Alai has succeeded in this regard. And then someone else can say, yes. You could. There are so many ways, but often, essentially the trick would be, in this case, for this example, would be to remove yourself once removed, twice removed. So instead of being it, having someone tell you that you are it, or overhearing people talk about you, etc. Another thing is, if you are attempting to, again, imagine something and you feel it's fake, sometimes repeating the word itself. So say you wanted to imagine telling someone that you are rich. As opposed to that, what you could do is say the word wealth. It will if you can do this and focus on the feeling and the visuals that appear within your mind, you can saturate your mind with that experience and the feeling of being wealthy. It's kind of like a cheat code of sorts. You're from Newark. Run. Okay, let's see. Edison, what's good? So I was in, that's where I went to Middlesex County College for a bit. How to work through respect. Okay, should I make contact with my specific person if I see them regularly? But first of all, thank you so much for the donation. You broke. So I haven't been doing lives for a long time. So therefore, this is awesome to get the first donation in a dog's age. So so everyone thank Reflection for being a G. And then I'm going to answer the question now. Should I make contact with my SP? The last thing I'll say on that is he now has the record for highest donation of this era. Okay. Should I make contact with my SP if I see them regularly but don't know them, or just let it happen? Sometimes I want to find a reason to talk to them. It would make perfect sense to try to find a reason to talk to someone that you like. I think that's normal, natural human behavior. Interestingly, though, it's difficult for me to tell you. Like, I can't tell you, yes, do this, don't do this. It's going to happen in a way that is natural. What does that mean? Like, oftentimes when people hear natural, they are either the way that it's explained to them can sometimes be short-sighted, which is essentially you might feel moved to do it. That doesn't help you at all. But another way that this could unfold, very common with manifesting, is for an event to unfold independent of your conscious reason, your conscious knowing. So, for instance, you would have no idea that it would have to do that you were about to bump into your specific person. But perhaps you had an urge to go to the store. And then you went to the store, and then boom, you bump into your specific person. So this would be a way, one of the ways to determine if it's natural is generally if it's out of ordinary. Now, if they go to the same store every day at noon, you going to the store at noon isn't that you wouldn't that would sound more forced so I can't tell you that for sure, but generally if you're looking to know when it's natural, it's generally when it is out of the norm and it puts you in a position where you're likely to bump into them or something happens. Now, technically, you could sit on your hands and make the decision that you will never speak to this individual. And if you imagined it successfully, that manifestation must unfold, which means they will be driven and moved to talk to you. It cannot come back void. It cannot come back void. So that's, I hope that's helpful for you. I know it's not a black and white answer, but none of this is, right? This is all through, I wish I can look into eternity and tell you what is manifesting currently, what is set and what isn't. Excuse me.
There's a race here.
Oh my God, y'all make me smile. Yeah! Beautiful to see you two together. I also attended Middlesex County College briefly. What years? Bridge of Incidents. Blocked by a few SPs. Haven't we all been blocked by a few SPs?
Do not worry about blocking. It is a blessing.
I blocked her once. Maybe not.
Sonny ghosted me.
Whoa, now. That was your fault. I'm not gaslighting you.
Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I remember this.
How to visualize effectively. How often to visualize. And do I repeat the scene over and over? The scene, when we talk about repeating the scene over and over, we're talking about ideally, right? In a perfect world, you could focus on the scene, bring it into your mind, make sure you're imagining the end, and loop it until it becomes natural, meaning you're no longer struggling to remember the scene itself. Therefore, it's just playing out as if it's a memory in the mind. So the repetitions are to cause it to go from conscious to subconscious or unconscious. So that is effectively how to do it. And then imagining in first person perspective, imagining after the end. Not a scene including the end, not a scene leading up to the end. Nowhere in your scene should be anywhere before at all. If you are, the reason I say that with such sincerity is I have witnessed far too many times, too many people manifesting pieces of the imaginal act as opposed to the whole thing because it's too long. And they've imagined before the end, and after the end, and then only the first quarter of it gets manifested. So in a perfect world, the best way to do this is to construct a scene a long period. A long period just means after the end. A moment or more after the moment where it's a done deal and certain. Not the moment when you receive the check from your employer, the moment that it's already cashed in the account, deposited successfully and cleared. There's a huge difference because someone can hand you the check and then it can fly out of your hands and then into the Grand Canyon and it's gone. Or it can still bounce. Or some mugger can run up and rip it out of your hand instantaneously. So you always want to be at a point where it's done. And then the repetition, again, is the same way as you would describe learning how to drive a car or ride a bike. In the beginning, you have to think about every little thing that you're doing, but within a matter of moments, it's all natural. You don't have to think about anything. That is the process from conscious to unconscious. That's one of the ways to be able to judge if you have effectively impressed the unconscious, subconscious, the conscious. All right. Anyway, I think on that note, if no one has any more questions that are... I know we got a late start. I truly appreciate you being patient while I got this whole set up. I'm really glad. It seems to be that this is excellent connection, so that means I can do this again. again, and again. And we're going to be doing our collaboration soon. So if you want to know how to manifest anything that you want in a laser-focused, systematic, methodolulu way. Methodolulu. That's a part of the manifestation as well. Our manifestation. Then stay tuned and watch our collaborations, because if you are one of the people who wonders what is your specific person thinking whilst you're imagining them, what are they doing during On the Bridge? Are they aware that you're manifesting them? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? We have all of those answered because both of us were in that situation, because she effectively manifested me and I effectively manifested her. And so on my end, we can reflect back about 4.5, 5 years when I wrote my list. And then yours was what, like a day? You manifested?
Mine was a few weeks.
A few weeks, and I came for it.
A few weeks to manifest him. In my world.
Yes. Patterson. What did you say?
Is that New Jersey?
Yeah, Patterson.
Oh.
Patterson, Jesus. Patterson's like ruthless, and I got some Newark in here, some P-Town.
Stephanie.
Oh, that's She know from and then watch the video from it, and now there we both are. Stephanie, I got your email. I hope so. I'm assuming that's what you have read. I thought about that a lot more. Yeah, man. So everything's gonna be cool though. You're good. You have not broken anything. If anything, I would see it as your manifestation would be kicked into gear. When you imagine something and see movement, it's the thing that you've imagined generally right after. In most cases, or in many cases, you could say the movement that you see following an imaginal act is from the imaginal act. So you question and ask yourself, what did that imaginal act say? It's the contents of your consciousness that gets replicated. It's not some weird side effect. It's not some hidden meaning or agenda. Whatever you imagined is going to happen. Not some weird, strange thing that you have to be afraid of looking at. So I think you know what I'm talking about, but nevertheless, just know that no matter what happens with your manifestation, you can always get what you want. There's nothing that can ever break a manifestation, so to speak. And on that note, I'm gonna peace out. Thank you all for being here. I'm grateful this worked out. Looks like we can currently have just about 200 people maximum. I would like to do this consistently now that we have a consistent stream of internet. I am also getting my supercomputer mailed here. What am I looking at? SP Dreams. I keep having SP Dreams. Did you dreams? What you talking about, Willis?
What, did we dream of each other when we were manifesting each other?
I dreamt of her, Jersey boy turned Brit, whilst she got sing. I think that's my own.
Oh,
to be honest, yeah, I think whilst I have a strange vocabulary, like nevertheless. Like who says that stuff? I do. Whilst I'm a King James Bible reader, so a lot of my vocabulary. Now, what I do say that's from her is whereby. But it fits perfectly into this strange vocabulary that I've developed over my life. So thank you for that.
You're probably saying a few things. I'm saying a few things. Though.
Yeah, she just starts speaking American.
I do.
All right. I have so when you begin to manifest in future tense, what happens is what is this?
What is that?
Who knows?
Teeny tiny.
What happens when you imagine something in future tense, in most cases, if you imagine it properly, meaning if you imagine accurately, if you visualize properly, if the audio is clear in your mind, you will manifest an indefinite never receiving it, essentially. Because when it happens, what happens is your consciousness replicates what you imagine. So if you imagine, and now a phrase such as this will happen is also imagining. So now take that phrase and push it into reality. This will happen. Okay, boom. now in reality. When it's in reality, it still is this will happen. That hits your awareness again, hits your subconscious, and then boom, manifest, that will happen. It's a perpetual pushback if you imagine correctly. So I have seen this with myself and others in the past with myself when I didn't know yet really the accuracy of what was going on, and also based upon a lot of the literature that I had read. When I would imagine things will happen, some of them would happen, but it was because I was focused less on the accuracy of the phrase itself or the experience itself and focusing more on the feeling. So I was ignoring the tense, I was ignoring the visuals, and I was only focused on one facet of my consciousness, thereby only impressing that one facet, which was feeling already having it, even though I'm saying it's going to happen. And so boom, there's a 50-50 shot at that point. It will manifest either not happening or will happening. So the key is to keep it consistently from the perspective of it already having happened. So when it replicates into time space, it what? Already happened, and then it's done. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for sticking around with Athena and I. Grateful that you were here and allowing me to test out this new internet. We will be doing our collaboration very soon. Again, like I said, if you're interested in broken down methods on how to manifest, and specifically as it relates to a specific or perfect person, our stories will include a variety of different aspects. But if you want experience and observe, so manifestations unfolding over years, and you want to know how that happened, the ins and outs, what we were thinking, what happens after we imagined, how did we imagine, what thoughts did we carry along with us, did we keep imagining, did we forget it, did we just write it down and let it go, did we think about it and let it go, did we consistently pretend like we already were that person? All of these things that you likely are being inundated with mixed information from a lot of the charlatans out there. If you want to know the observations of what actually happened through experience and tested experiences, you will likely want to catch our collaboration. That will help you endlessly. So hit the like button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button if you like these broken down explanations, these Q&As, these live streams, which will now be a part of my schedule in some way or another. Also, definitely make sure you stay tuned for, if you're not subscribed, you better do that. And if you're not on the bell icon, you'd better do that, because I will be doing community posts, shorts, videos, breakdancing.
Breakdancing, huh? I'd tune in for that.
I never said that. But anyway, say hello to Athena. Say goodbye to Athena. I am out of here.
Good night. Good to see you guys soon.
All right. Let us just make sure. Is she coming to New Jersey soon? Jersey's gone in the dust. What are you looking at?
Oh, David, it's Athena Raven.
Athena Raven. Like, call, nevermore, nevermore.
Quote the Raven, nevermore.
All right, bye, guys.
It's great to see you all.
Thanks for the donation again. So cool, so cool. My old area code 732. All right, peace,
wow.
fleece.